Hello everyone, very good morning, good afternoon and good evening to all of you. This is your host Vaibhav. For today's session of Daily Stock, we are going to look at the financials, the quarterly earnings of tech giant Intel. This is a tech giant which has been under pressure for the last couple of months, but finally it seems to be putting its troubles behind, and we have this quarter, after two consecutive quarters of losses, finally turning around, and in the second quarter of 2023, we are looking at the picture for the Intel, which is looking better as it has returned to the profitability, and also the forward guidance for the third quarter of this year is much better. So these two factors are giving the impetus to the market participants to get involved and buy the stock that has pushed the prices of the stock higher by around 7 percentage point in today's trading session. And I think this is also keeping up with the larger trend of these tech stocks inching higher after the quarterly earnings, as most of these tech stocks, tech giants have posted positive quarterly earnings, and also the picture is looking rosier in coming months as well. So both these factors are helping the rebound in stocks of major tech companies, and Intel is also joining that bandwagon with these substantial gains being seen in today's session. So let us look at its quarterly earnings in some more details, and afterwards we will also consider its technicals to see if we can take advantage of these bullish wave, and we can look for the buying opportunities. We can indeed adopt a buy on dip strategy for this stock. So that is the focus area for this session, and we will consider the opportunities if there are any emerging opportunities in next couple of sessions. If we have to look at the quarterly earnings for the Intel, let's go to its earning release. Here I had already opened these two tabs with the quarterly statements. And if we look at the highlights of these release, the revenue for the second quarter is down 15%, but if we consider the operating margin, it has improved substantially, and that is one turnaround story, because even though the revenues are down as a result of its lower revenues coming in from the client computing segment, we have these better margins as it has also been able to cut cost, and that has given it some headroom. We will more focus on segmental results, because that's where the story lies. We have the revenues of the company divided in multiple segments, and the business verticals are separately listed, so we get to see which segment is driving the revenues and the profitability higher or lower as the case may be. Let's consider the segmental results. This is a condensed balance sheet. This is also a consolidated statement. Alright, here we get supplemental operating segment results. Now, if we come to these revenues, net revenues, the client computing has contributed majority of its revenues, little over 50%, and that is the mainstay of these companies' business. So that is not surprising. But what is surprising is this deep of around 15 percentage points. But one good story has been that its operating margin has improved, so that has cushioned these decline in the revenues from this client computing segment. And we have seen softening of the personal computer market, the desktop as well as the notebook, laptops, and other segments have been slower for last 1 year after substantial demand. In the pandemic phase, we have seen some consolidation, and not many people are buying these new gadgets unless it is a requirement. So that has impacted the Intel's business because Intel is a major player in this personal computer space with its chipsets and the processing units being provided for most of the hardware makers in the business. Apart from that, its data center business and the AI segment seems to be contributing substantially also. But here also we have these decline in revenues, which the company has attributed to the strong competition, and also as it has not been able to keep up with some of the market demands. So that factor has been acknowledged by the company, and it is working. It has said that it is generating the appropriate response to these challenges, and it is expecting the business segment to contribute substantially in coming quarters. And other smaller segments like network and edge, mobile eye. Mobile eye is its unit which is focused on the self-driving. It is also a publicly listed subsidiary of the Intel, and it has contributed nearly the same amount of revenues as was the case for the second quarter of last year. And other smaller segments like these Intel Foundry services are seeing higher revenues. Now, the story is in its operating income because it has been able to improve the operating margin, and that has given it some cushion, and also that has contributed to the surge which we are seeing in the share price of the Intel in today's trading session. Let's look at the highlights of these financials. The revenue is down, as I said earlier, but the gross margin is higher, and that has resulted in the earning per share of US dollar $0.13. Client computing segment is showing lower revenues, and the cause has been listed as lower on overall TAM contractors and the original equipment manufacturers inventory reduction. So as a result of that, the revenues are lower. Operating income is higher because the spending has reduced and inventory reserves. Here also, the company has listed the reasons behind the reduction in the revenues and what it is doing. So if you want to go into the details of these financials, it is available on the site of the company in these investors relations segment. So you can indeed read the fine print in details whenever you feel like. Now let us head to the JForex chart to look at the technicals and what we can do to ride this positive momentum of the company. In today's trading session, I don't really feel there is much for us to do because the Intel is trading substantially higher compared to the prior closing value, the yesterday's closing levels. It is already up around 7 percentage points, so that reduces the headroom for us to get involved on these current levels. But as there is this clear cut breakout, I think now with this formation of higher highs and higher lows, we can target the possibilities where we feel that if the Intel does show some correction in the coming quarters and stabilizes on the levels above these immediate swing low, then we will have the reasons for the expectations for anticipation that the Intel stock is likely to continue this rally and even eventually rise towards the US dollar 40 per share price. So that is also a possibility as long as it is holding above this immediate swing low, just little above US dollar 33. I think we can be fairly confident of the continuation of this rally. So even if at the moment the current prices are higher and we are not really getting a good risk reward ratio, if we play patiently and if we allow the consolidation, we would indeed get a better risk reward ratio if the momentum holds, and if it reverses course and goes on to decline without any consolidation, then of course we will have to change our mindset because, as I said, with this formation of higher highs and higher lows, it becomes very important for us to go for the trade only if this immediate swing low is not breached. If we consider the larger time frame charting, the daily time frame charting, we have the daily price at its recent peak. We have seen substantial rally in the Intel stocks in last couple of sessions, in last couple of weeks, you can even say, and right now it is trading close to its recent highs, and this immediate high established in the month of June is likely to be breached as we have this formation of higher highs and higher lows. So to take advantage of this possibility, I would say that we can keep an eye on the price momentum and the consolidation levels, and in next couple of sessions I'm quite confident that we are likely to get a opportunity to get involved in this rally, and maybe we will be seeing the Intel stock rally towards the levels of US dollar 40 at the minimum. So that is my anticipation, my expectations of these share price momentum which we are observing on the bullish side for the Intel shares. So that's all from my side for today's session. If any of you have any query or any idea to share, do write to me in the feedback and I'll be more than happy to take the discussion forward. If you have any suggestion, if you feel like discussing about any stock, the buzzing stock which is in the market's attention, we have substantial turnover. So all these hot stocks, buzzing stocks can be considered in this session. So if you feel like you can give me any suggestion for the stock of your choice to be covered, and I will take you along and we will discuss the trajectory and the forward guidance of that particular company. So do write to me. Thank you all for joining in. Have a fabulous time ahead. See you on Monday with a interesting happening stock to look at. See you on Monday. Goodbye.